Top Fuel Australia shook up the championship drag racing establishment in July when they released one of the biggest announcements to hit the sport down under in years. They'd be going out on their own. Just like so many others, the teams used the COVID downtime to re-evaluate their trajectory and ultimately to decide if their current arrangements were getting the best out of the sport. The question is, will this move make the Australian Top Fuel Championship the #1 drag racing series in the country? I'm your host Dan Bennett and welcome to another edition of Nitro Mouth. Before we delve into the reasons for Top Fuel Australia going out on their own, let's talk about the new series. The Australian Top Fuel Championship will make its debut at the world-class Sydney Dragway in January, ending in a spectacular grand finale around July, with the details still being finalised. But here is what we know so far. It will be run as a 6-round series, with stops at Melbourne, Perth, Heathcote, 2 dates in Sydney, and a rumoured grand finale in Darwin. 3 of the rounds will be Top Fuel promoted events, including the first Sydney date, Heathcote, and the grand finale, while the second Sydney date, Melbourne, and Perth will be part of existing events, such as the Nitro Champs, Australian Nationals, and Western Nationals. According to Phil Reed, driver of the Jim Reed Racing Top Fuel Dragster, fans can expect to see a very familiar race format. The new series will run a true all-run format for each event, with a refined point structure, bigger trophies. It's a bigger show. The Australian Top Fuel series is a breath of fresh air. More tracks in more states, it's what drag racing needs. I love the all-run format. It's great for our corporate partners and for our race fans. It's better bang for your buck. The all-run format sees 3 rounds of racing, with all teams competing, vying for win lights and points. This is a departure from the traditional elimination format used in championship drag racing series around the world. Interestingly, this won't be the first independent Nitro show in Australia. Graham Cowan's Outlaw Funny Car series has run a successful show since 2013, with a cult following around the country. While the series format sounds familiar, eagle-eyed observers will notice something missing. Home to the biggest drag racing event in Australia, the Winter Nationals, Willowbank Raceway is missing from the schedule, leaving thousands of disappointed Queensland fans shrugging their shoulders. Willowbank has hosted more Top Fuel rounds than any other track in Australia. Speculation continues that Top Fuel Australia and Willowbank couldn't agree on certain terms for the track to be included in the new series this time round, although TFA remains hopeful that they will return to the venue for the second season. So, how do you create a new series that satisfies the hardcore Nitro fan and the casual Sunday spectator? Top Fuel Australia have teamed up with motorsports media broadcaster Nathan Prendergast to steer the media delivery of the new series, while the series also looks to develop the fan experience at the track. Prendergast has enlisted Andy Lopez, the event production wizard behind events like Summer Nats, to help drive the event production strategy for the Top Fuel series. Lopez's task of developing the strategy is just as important as the race itself, as race fans demand a modernised version of a day out at the races, where casual fans and families can enjoy themselves just as much as the hardcore, seasoned race fans. According to Lopez, racing will always be the hero. Live music, food, fireworks, great activations, pit experiences, traders and exhibitors, we want to make the hardcore fan happy, while the festival atmosphere draws in the whole family. It will be a multi-layered automotive festival, that same spirit and vibe. On race day, fans can expect a more streamlined experience, particularly when it comes to event duration. Running to time and schedule is key in the new series, said Lopez. We won't be running late into the evening. Lopez pointed out that he is in talks regarding the support categories for each event, but couldn't say anything publicly. However, when asked about what sanctioning the new series will run under, Lopez said, "We'll race under whatever sanctioning body is at each track." While the Top Fuel series looks to the future, you might be wondering why the move from 400 Thunder? Top Fuel Australia officially parted ways with the 400 Thunder Series after the season-ending Winter Nationals in June this year. While the 400 Thunder Series delivered world-class TV and streaming for their series, the frustration for the Fuel teams was that they wanted to race at more tracks around Australia and build a platform to encourage more corporate partners for the long term. For the past 4 years, the 400 Thunder Series has primarily raced between two tracks, Willowbank and Sydney. This meant venues like Perth and Darwin have been left out due to their ANDRA sanctioning. More importantly for the Fuel teams, their fans and sponsors were missing out on key markets, leading to a shrinkage of opportunities. Victorian team owner and racer Phil Lamartina said, "What we needed was to be able to tidy up the ability for teams to attract sponsorship through a new series. Rather than rely on the same teams and cars, we want to introduce new teams into the category." The new series will see the return of Raposada Autosport International, Jim Reed Racing, Premier Racing, and Lamartina Racing. Between these teams, at least 7 cars will be on the property at each event, with car counts expected to grow as the series builds momentum. The observation could be made that by being independently operated, the Top Fuel category itself is now more nimble. Much like Australia's Supercar Series, the event production, branding, media, and overall direction of the series is able to stretch its wings. Running from January to June with a 1 round per month schedule makes it an easier task for the series to develop momentum with new fans, while taking into account today's expectations for entertainment at any live event. One thing's for sure, it's an exciting time to be a race fan. Have you ever been to a Top Fuel race in Australia? Who's your favourite driver? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay up to date with the latest in drag racing news from around the globe.